Hey everybody, it's your main man, Red Eye, coming to you live from Raider Radio in Nuka World. And what's the deal going on lately? I mean, seriously. First, our overboss, Coulter. Big man on campus. He drags us all down here, promising caps and, all this other crap. And what are we doing now? I mean, I'm stuck here in this radio booth, and everybody else is constantly watching that stupid gauntlet thing. I mean, seriously, props to the overboss for even considering this. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's entertaining as hell, but I mean, seriously, what are we doing? We don't even feel like Raiders anymore. I mean, seriously, Gage. I mean, dude, come on. Find us a new overboss, or I don't know what's going to happen. But hey, you didn't come here to listen to old Red Eye. No, you came here for somebody else entirely, didn't you? Well, let me hand it over. Hey, Mr. Mystery, I mean, you just got done with the main thing in the gauntlet. I mean, sort of. I mean, what's your take? I mean, come on.
Ha. Yeah, all seriousness. Welcome back to the Moonshadow Mystery channel, everybody. As always, I'm your rainbow-eyed bug bunny host, Compound Eyes, better known to you as Moonshadow Mystery,
aka Moonlight Shadow,
the Changeling. And we're going to be continuing again with our Fallout 4 exploration videos. Now, last time we froze as we were leaving Vault 88, which is a little too bad. Thankfully, we had the foresight to save first. So today we're going to get out of Vault 88. We're going to head, most likely, to Far Harbor and continuing exploring some of our other settlements. I'm not really sure how far we're going to get, how many we're going to get to see. I know I've got at least 2 or 3, maybe 4 in Far Harbor. Only really 1 or 2 that I'm heavily invested in. But we're going to use Far Harbor as an excuse of getting some more canines for some of our other settlements. It's been a while since I've been to Far Harbor, to be honest. I've spent a great deal of other time exploring other parts of the Commonwealth, taking care of some side quests that I haven't done. I'm still trying to make use of the one mod that supposedly restored the Brotherhood of Steel ending where you become the Elder. I've still not really managed to get it to work. I guess it's because I chose to side fully with the Brotherhood and didn't really do anything with the Minutemen or the Railroad. I mean, I became general with the Minutemen, so I don't know. I mean, it should have worked. Don't know why it didn't. I mean, obviously there's something I'm not doing. Of course, then again, some of the other mods I've installed haven't worked properly, like the Mid-Eastern Brotherhood Power Armor. It shows up invisible, whereas the screenshots I've seen, it looks fine. I don't know why. And not screenshots I've taken, screenshots of the mod itself from the Nexus Mods page. If anybody else has tried the Mid-Eastern Power Armor installation mod and it works for you, let me know down below. If you're like me and you've tried it and it hasn't worked for you, feel free to let me know that as well. If anyone's found a fix for this bug, please fill me in. That way maybe I can finally get it working right, because I have a theory involving the Mid-Eastern Brotherhood Power Armor and the X-02 Advanced Enclave Power Armor from Fallout 3. And this mod would go a long way toward helping me prove or disprove that theory. And yes, I think the next video I do after this one is probably going to revolve around my Raider build. Of course, if anybody out there has something else in mind, something special, let me know, because I'm more than happy to take requests. And Huh. I never really noticed that there was a building here before. That's neat. I mean, it's nice when Fallout 4 or any Fallout game can really subvert your expectations by still having secret little nooks and crannies. I almost shot at Kate. That would have been bad. Stupid synths. Huh. This is a podium. Well, before we get going, I guess we better take care of this. Let's see here. I get very few chances of trying this. I mean, I need to get more of them, but unlike Kate, I don't want to be out there when the rain starts falling. That is the only real benefit I see from actually siding with the Minutemen, is the artillery cannon. I mean, seriously, that thing is awesome in its own right, but aside from that, I have no real use for it. I mean, I get so flustered by Preston Garvey. I may be too far away. Yeah, I may not be within range of... Oh, crap! Run! I was within range. Huh. This must be a campus, because this is the only reason I can see a podium being above a lecture hall. I have no idea where you're at, Kate, but I can't cover you.
Now you're starting to piss me off.
Holy crap. I don't know why the artillery is so slow and... Huh. That's weird. Were you supposed to be able to take over a settlement around here? Is there something I'm not knowing? Oh, that was weird. That was the credit union, but it was attached to the same thing. I am confused. Huh. I guess the credit union connected into the diner. That's weird. I mean, we're 9 minutes in and we're already learning stuff we didn't know before. I think that's one of the things that adds a lot of replayability to Fallout 4. Is there's always areas left uncovered that you've not seen before. And before we go on our merry way, I gotta see where that vertibird VB-02 gunship went. Because I owe it to my brothers and sisters. But we take a vastly different approach in our Raider build. So anyone who thinks I play the same no matter what build I do, you'll be in for a fortunate treat in that regard. Holy crap! Did the vertebrae crash? I think it crashed. Crap, it did. How'd it crash? What took it down? No. Well, on the bright side, this is one way of getting outfits and stuff that you normally couldn't.
Hey.
Pardon me, sir. Parker Quinn. I just want to say it's a good...
Uh-huh. Good to meet you, Mr. Quinn.
Mr. Quinn, what are we, strangers? Mr. Quinn's my father's name.
Okay, Parker it is.
Hey, look at that. We're friends now. I'm Parker, and you... Look, because you're obviously a busy, dangerous, and exceedingly intelligent...
Oh, I remember this guy. This is the guy that gives you the credit card.
Say no. You ready?
I'm ready.
Every day you gotta buy stuff. Food. A bunch of losers blow up the world 200 years ago, and we have to lug around piles of... So
I mean, it has no real purpose until you go to Far Harbor.
Interesting idea.
Interesting. A work of art's interesting. This is friggin' revel. It's super simple. You give me accepted at any store in the Commonwealth. So what do you say? Want one?
I know it's a scam,
Awesome.
but
I'll take your money.
it did it to me again. He called me a retard. Okay. You know what? Oh, I can't equip that while I'm in power armor. Well, that's too bad. Well, it looks like I gotta find something else. Let's see. I was gonna be nice about it, but since you actually went out of your way and called me that, which is just unacceptable, regard PC or no PC. I mean that's just unacceptable. I'm trying to find it. Not that. I got a shish kebab. I renamed it, but I can't remember what I called it. No. There it is. Like I said, I was going to be nice about it until he called me that. You know, I knew it was a scam from the start. I could have called him on it. But no, I was going to be a nice guy about it because I've never had that random encounter happen before. I've heard about it. But no, he had to go and ruin his luck and tip me off by just being rude and insulting. As I was saying though, while for me it's unfortunate when these vertebrae crashes happen, it is a good way of getting certain outfits, etc., without having to worry about damaging your reputation. Now, if you're like me and you don't do a whole lot of melee, it's important to note that when you're using a melee weapon, your bash button becomes your heavy strike. It makes a big difference when you're trying to get a lot of damage done and you're using a weapon that typically doesn't do a lot of damage right off. It took me a way longer than I'd like to admit before I realized that. And you may be wondering, you're slaughtering raiders, why aren't you slaughtering Kate? Kate may be a raider, but unlike Gage, she's not a total about it. You know, I can tolerate Kate because she's just the way she is. Now I think someone I forgot which direction I was going. Forget it. We're gonna save real quick. We're already a quarter hour in. You know what? I know where we're gonna go. Before we go to... Gotta find where it's at though. I had it... You see, that's the thing. It's a settlement, but it doesn't appear as a typical settlement icon. The Coastal Cottage is one of my less frequently visited settlements, but it's still interesting. I mean, it's basically only good as like a waypoint. It doesn't really have enough space to do a whole lot. It's one of the smaller resourced areas. It does have some interesting views. It said I have a couple of people here. I don't remember who I have here. I think at least one of those quote-unquote people was a robot. Or maybe not. Maybe it was a person. Who knows? Well, here's one person.
Maybe you can help. Our generator's busted and we don't have the parts we need to fix it.
This is my spot and you're being a tool. Okay, that's weird. Hold on. That just glitched on me. I don't know what happened, but you all saw it. I went into the build menu and then it, I don't know, it went weird on me. I guess because it was trying to enter the dialogue tree at the same time. Maybe that was it. Well, the Coastal Cottage really didn't have anything interesting to point out anyways. Like, but it wouldn't even let me bring up the Pit Boy, so I couldn't even fast travel out of there. So one way or the other, this was going to happen. Hopefully it's not going to freeze up. If it does, since we're still so, short into it, I'll just reboot and we'll continue recording. And for anyone who's confused, the video before this was actually episode 2. The one before it was a supplemental for the first episode in this exploration series. So it was more of a supplemental. That's why it was called 1.5. So this is actually episode 3, and it looks like I'm going to have to... Well, I didn't want to have to do it, but I'm going to have to. So give me just a minute or two while I try and sort this out, everyone. And here we are back. Thank you for being patient. We had to go back quite with us after having that little restart. So instead of checking out the Coastal Cottage, we're going to see about finding... There it is. We're going to head out to Far Harbor, explore those settlements, and see about getting some more hounds to send to our other settlements. That way we'll have some guard dogs on hand for when we can't be there. I wasn't sure we were going to make it to Vault 88 like we did to help out. Problem with having settlements all over the Commonwealth, well out of the shores of the Commonwealth as well, as you can't always guarantee you'll make it in time to actually be of any service.
The children of Adam are trying to kill us.
You see, she says that, but we already resolved that.
Guns, ammo, and souvenirs. Get 'em all. I got the guns if you got
While
the
we're here, we're
guns.
going to go ahead and do some bartering.
Show me what you got.
Don't try.
And I think a lot of this dialogue's recycled no matter what kind of choices you make. Problem is, whoa. Yeah, hold on. The real problem is this build, the menus are all slow.
Fresh shipment in. All your medical and food needs.
That must be 30 years? More? Since someone did the dance like you?
So let's see here. We're going to start with the closest settlement we can explore, and that is Longfellow's cabin. It's actually just out of Far Harbor itself. Thankfully we got our spotlight. When we first came here, I had concerns about mirelurks and ghouls, because a lot of ghouls tend to make their homes on these old ships. But working our way around the outline here, because it put us probably in a spot it usually wouldn't, which has been a recurring theme lately. Going around, you can see where I've expanded all of our power towers. And we'll work our way slowly toward the center once we get a good look at the perimeter. And yeah, we've stuck with mainly heavy turrets. Not really truly heavy turrets, but like just ones to put a dent in the enemy. We got a robot workbench perched precariously on this rock because that was the only spot we could get it to stay on level ground. We have a standard fusion core powered generator powering the whole thing. Longfellow's cabin really didn't have a whole lot to it. I mean, it does have this little spot here that's got a weapons workbench and a power armor station. For the most part, there's not really much to this. It does have a basically beachfront property all the way around, except from the brief little inlet that connects his island to the mainland. I think we did have to tend to a few mirelurks the first time we were here. And areas where that happened are a little more heavily... Yeah, I can see we have a mirelurk hatchling right there. We got a laser turret above. So yeah, we did have some enemies at first. But all evidence of clutches have been basically gone away. But Longfellow's cabin doesn't have a whole awful lot to it, aside from Longfellow himself. It is eerie. I mean, it kind of suits me because this is kind of the kind of place I like. Aside from being a spot to meet up with old Longfellow and get some rest, there's not really a whole lot to it. I mean, aside from fortifying it a little bit to keep him safer, I didn't really do a whole lot to it. And yeah, there is an island to the northeast, not really a whole lot there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to one of our other settlements. Problem is I got to remember what they're called, because the settlement markers around here aren't the same as in the main Commonwealth. Right here, this is going to Echo Lake Lumber. I thought there'd be more people there by now. Not really sure why there's not. But it's really one of the first places they assign you to get back on its feet. Hopefully we won't have any more freeze-up issues. Knock on wood. That's nice. I mean, Alright, yeah. And it put us outside for some reason, but that's okay. I'll give you a nice little look. I can see the Echo Lake Lumber. We erected these two lamp posts ourselves, I do believe. Got power going to them. As always, we got my standard Vault Boy, Vault Girl combination. We do have some turrets up to keep raiders and whatnot at bay. We got a guard post on hand. Let's see, there's plenty of food and all for the few people here. We do have some heavy artillery set up. And we do have a turret over here in case any ghouls decide to res themselves in and try and force their way through. I don't think it's happened yet. I mean, this place used to be ghoul infested, so I don't like taking any chances with things like that. Walking down through here to what was, I guess, once the marina area. Which I don't know why there would be stands like this at a lumber yard, but we got some pre-war posters. We got our siren. The fog's pretty dense. I think it's denser right now than it usually is. Can't really see too far ahead. But as you can see, we got fortifications all around. Small generators powering little things to avoid wasting too much material. We got our robot workbench here, as I like to do. I've not gotten around to putting any robots out here yet. We do have a Vim and Nuka-Cola machine here, just for the ambience. We have a merchant stand here, and I did decide to put a couple of armor displays here showing pre-war clothing, just to make this place feel a little more peaceful. The old barn here has most of the workbenches, the armor workbench, weapons, the scavenger's bench, the chemistry station. We did put a bed out here. And we do have a pretty nice garden set up.
Hey.
I did put a number of these stairs around so that no matter what side they were on or if there was something that needed fixed, it'd be easy to get to it. We'll look at the main building here in just a moment. This was originally just a standard lumber mill type thing. I ended up deleting the whole building unintentionally. And because of the glitch, I just rebuilt it the best way I could as a semi-fortified structure. Thinking this area basically is a bunkhouse and a spot where Brahmin could wander in and eat. There's a ladder going up top. I never could get a roof in for some reason. It's basically just my personal little getaway with another armor bench, weapons workbench, cook station, chem station, mixing station. Just things that I can make use of. Along with a little rooftop sniper's nest. And yeah, I have put a number of these little things to make it a little harder for mirelurks and the like to get in. Just in the off chance that they do decide to respawn, because as you've seen in Vault 88, NPCs respawning out of nowhere isn't entirely unheard of. I didn't expect that rad scorpion to be back after clearing the rest of the vault, but there it was. So my paranoid preparations have proven justified more than once. We're going to go ahead and go in the side entrance to the main house building. As you can see, we've got the remnants of the old bathroom here to the right, a locker, rad stags.
Only thing better than getting pissed is picking a fight.
I do like to put a number of these trophies around just to show them, yeah, we're surviving. We do have an old cash register here, so this was somewhat of an employee shop of sorts. We do have a number of other mixer stations here just to keep this place feeling a little more lively. Going down these stairs, we have what has become a makeshift diner, which is what that little generator powers, as the one or two little lights that's in here to create ambience and make this place feel like a real rest and relaxation type area. We'll go up this broken set of stairs, and yes, we do have a baby's crib here, just in case. We got a couple of beds on this floor. So this is basically a very leaky bunkhouse, but it's the Wasteland who's gonna really complain. We still have the old terminal in place here. We haven't really messed with it. We got another baby crib, office desk. We've patched up this hole in the wall as best we could to keep flying critters from sneaking their way in. We have left the roof more or less untouched, that way we can get out onto it if we need to. And of course there is one bed up here and the steamer trunk. Going onto the roof as best we can. We do have a couple of turrets set up to help protect the yard should they get overrun. Since again there are only 3 people here. I don't know why there's only 3. But I do take care of my settlers. I make sure they have plenty of protection. Now, this isn't actually part of the settlement, although it may as well be. But this whole area here, I guess, was part of some sort of carnival associated with the lumber yard at one point. There were ghouls around here at one point, which again is why I set up part of the defenses I did. And even though it's not really part of the settlement, we do have that fog diffuser there. I don't know how the whalebones got so far inland, aside from maybe some storms. But it does act as a nice little extension of the settlement. We're going to go back into our map for a minute here. Alright, our best settlement is Dalton Farm. We don't really have very many people there yet. And we also have the National Park Center. The Park Center is probably the one we'll go to next. But first we're going to what's known as Horizon Flights 1207. I'm glad it auto-saved for us. That made that a little bit easier. Well, again, hopefully we won't deal with any of the issues I've been having lately. Some days it's better, some days it's worse. Don't know why. But the Horizon Flight 1207 is where we meet the Gentle Giant, the Super Mutant Dog Breeder,
Can we quit sucking down rads?
and yes, I know that there's a mod that actually quiets your companions a little bit. I'm not going to be a jerk about it, you know. Here he is. The Gentle Giant Erickson.
There's probably a better route
Clad in a Yagua skin. I'm sure his name is a reference to Leif Erikson,
maybe.
the Viking who allegedly founded his way to the Canadian shores and whatnot during the Viking days. He is a great guy. We're going to... And yes, I'm still finding this whole mess. I'm sorry about that. We're going to get as much as we can from him while we can. He doesn't tend to restock as often as the others as far as merchants go. And it takes like a week or two when he restocks on hounds. And for some reason, he's not able to send hounds to Sanctuary. I guess because despite it being one of our settlements, it's classified as a Minuteman settlement. Kind of weird that way. Again, I'm sorry for the delay in all this stuff. I don't know why it's like that. It's been like that for a while. Excuse me. And it started getting like that before I ever started using mods. So it's not a mod thing. I guess it's just some issue with this build. For whatever weird reason. This is the part that's going to take the longest because for whatever reason it'll only let you group purchase in counts of 6 or more, which I've always found to be a bit of a problem because of issues like this. But to find that many fusion cores on one guy is saying something. Now, if you're like a lot of people who do Far Harbor builds, you're going to love the harpoon gun. I didn't mean to get the teddy bear. So, having a suitable supplier of harpoons is a good thing. Personally, I do prefer the railway rifles myself. I'm not a fan of the railroad. I actually eliminated the railroad outright early in my playthrough. But I do love the railway rifle, always have.
Oh, hello again. Did you need something?
I was interested in buying one of your guard dogs. I'll take the mutant hound.
Where did you
Now,
want it to
Gertie is a
guard?
mutant hound. We're going to see where we can send it. And like I thought, Sanctuary Hills can't have one. Now, the brilliant thing is you actually can send it, more than one hound, to a location. We already have one at our... We already have a mutant hound in our Red Rocket, so we're going to send this one to the Nuka World Red Rocket.
Sounds good. You take care. You hungry? Here.
He's also one of the few merchants who will treat you the same way Companion will and randomly give you items.
Which one would you like?
Now we're going to buy Bubba.
I'd like to buy the wolf.
Personally, I love the wolves. You never know if you're going to get a regular wolf or a glowing wolf. I had a glowing one at the slog, and so far, unlike the creatures you get out of the beast cages, they seem to stay the same no matter what. Don't remember where Outpost Zimonja is. Well, we're going to send this wolf to Vault 88.
Sounds good. You take care. Looking
We can only
good,
buy
Trey.
up to 3 dogs at a time, I think. We might be able to buy 4. We're going to find out.
Which one would you like?
I was interested in the dog.
Where did you
The
want
dog
it
is
to
more than
guard?
likely a mongrel. It tends to vary between a mongrel and like a Rottweiler. You know what? I feel a little bad for Longfellow being there alone, so we're going to send this one to Longfellow's cabin just to be nice about it.
Treat them right, and they'll do the same for you. There's probably a bed around if you need a rest.
I was interested in buying one of your guard dogs.
I'm all out at the moment.
Yeah, that verifies it takes them
Give me a
between
week or
1 to
two,
2
I'll
weeks
train
in
up another.
game in order to get more dogs trained. But he's a nice guy as long as you're not pushing his buttons. He keeps a decent stock, and he doesn't really get mad at you for a whole lot. So if you need a place that's out of the way, that people ain't going to invade, going after you, here in Far Harbor, this is the spot to go. I mean, it is eerie as all get out, so I'm sure there's some sort of myth going around on the island about something or other. So it makes it a good spot. But now we're going to head to the National Park Visitor Center. But again, the marine wetsuit and the tactical helmet look a lot like the Chinese stealth armors. And since we have a Chinese stealth armor, we can always test this later. I don't know if I've ever found the tactical helmet before. I've not really checked my inventory. But I'm pretty sure I found a wetsuit. Unfortunately, I can't help defend the slug. I'm too far away. We can always re-earn their... We shouldn't have to help defend them. I actually got that place pretty well protected. But here at the visitor center, the parking lot's still pretty full of old pre-war cars. We haven't really done a lot for this place, admittedly. We've only been here like once as part of the quests, and we did a few fortifications when we were here then, so we could fulfill those obligations. Not really anybody here. We have...
Lost my home when the fog rolled in.
I don't even know where this settler came from. But we're going to assign him to the guard post.
Okay.
I mean, we're already here anyway, so we're going to go ahead and give them a couple of these. No point in letting them go without water, is there? Well, I thought I had some crops I could plant for them, but guess not. To be honest, I've never really explored this place thoroughly.
The fog's poison.
So I'm not really sure what all there is here. Probably not a whole lot. It's pretty much still got the same look it had before the war. But we just found a magazine we didn't know was here, so this was actually a nice stop anyway. These quote-unquote sludge-based recipes have their uses. Yeah, that's the only downside of having so many companions thanks to that one mod of mine, is they do get in the way a bit. I think I've mentioned that before. I can never remember my... But despite the few minor additions we gave when we were here, this place does have a nice little set of catwalks. And it looks like some of the turrets we set up are gone. Which I'm sure they were either destroyed or they went away after we completed that little side quest. But yeah, this was basically just a distraction at best. Now we're going to head over to Dalton Farm, which we have actually taken the time to set up a little bit. I haven't been back here in months because I've been so focused on the other builds and other projects. So I'm actually not really sure what the settlers have changed, as you have noticed, either yourselves or through my own videos. Settlers do tend to move things, add things, whatever. Hopefully they've not done that to ours. We're going to start right over here toward one of the... Yeah, see, we didn't actually help at all. The turrets did the work. But this is one of the areas I kind of blocked off in order to make it a dedicated in-out. And I have turrets set up basically that makes it a bottleneck. Not sure where he's going, but we're going to follow him. No point in one of our settlers getting killed for no reason, is there? Actually, the chances are here we need something better, so let's see here. Better not something that'll kill everybody. Let's try our radium rifle. Not really use this one a lot. Pretty sure it's one of the ones I got from around here, so I don't know. Whatever it was, it went away. Looks like one of our machines got stuck. I've noticed that tends to happen with some of the robots. They somehow find their way into areas and get themselves stuck. I actually had one on Spectacle Island one time that got itself stuck underneath the guard post. I'm not even sure how that was possible. But as we move around the main island, you see here we have a generous crops for them. We have a lot of fishing gear here. This little building is basically our scavenger station. As you can tell by the doghouse and by the vault boy and vault... Huh, I guess I only put the vault boy here this time. But as you can probably tell, this is my main house. Sorry about that when I'm here at this settlement. Although since I'm not here a whole awful lot, it's basically a not really even a bunkhouse, more of a break house. I didn't even bother putting a bed in. So this is more like a meeting house. You can tell up top, I've got one of our main generators, along with several of our turrets in case the enemy does get in. We have several guard posts located all around. Right over here to the right, up and down, because that's just how it worked out. We do have a little bunkhouse, along with a weapons workbench. Moving down onto the pier and around. A lot of pre-war skeletons here. We do have the main workbench right there, which is for the settlement. Another guard tower in case a Mirelurk Queen or something decides to attack. We don't have very many stores set up. We have this old outhouse, which is really unable to be used at all. Here on the beach, we've got a number of little amenities. We've got another bunkhouse of sorts. And this one's got the armor workbench in it. Of course, we got several guard towers down here as well. And, that one was supposed to have a turret on it. What happened? Maybe I forgot to put it back up. Here we have another one with the chem station. You may be wondering why I left the train car doors open. Well, I figured if a Mirelurk did attack, they could kind of go inside and protect themselves from the Mirelurk Hunter's acid spit or the Mirelurk King's sonic attacks. That northwest is off the map, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, we actually have a mod. We could go that way and explore it if we wanted. But I have effectively blocked this whole thing off with the concrete barricade all around. Here is one of our Raider-inspired robots, the Warmonger. And these ones I didn't really get very creative with. I basically named them after what specific mods I incorporated into them. So, admittedly lazy.
Cricket.
Come on, come on.
Cricket always seems like she's on edge.
Sure. Let's take a look.
Oh, she's a chem user, that's why.
Good it'll-
You can tell it by her eyes and her complexion. She is just strung up. I hate to give her money to feed her addiction. But grenades are something we run out of fairly quickly. Hopefully we'll actually run into some enemies, because honestly I'd love to show off some different things. We're going to try and keep this one about the same length as the last one in total. Right now we're at about 49 minutes, not counting the intro. But we would get more ammo from her, but as you can tell, it takes a little while because of how this is. It's like a snail's pace. It's kind of ridiculous and annoying. So we're just going to stick with the mines for now, and we might get some well, not going to get some armor. We would be foolish not to get the shipments, especially the way I go through them. It switched automatically. Let's see, I'm not really seeing anything jumping out at me, especially the cannonballs, yeah. Cryo cells. Well, we got some flares, so that's always a good thing. I think we can use them to craft some of the other specialized flares. We definitely need these fusion cores. Between power armor, Gauss rifles, Gatling lasers, we go through fusion cores pretty quickly. Now, I've got the Aternus on my Raider build. I found out it's actually a lot harder to get those kind of things on, if you decide not to side with the Raiders. It's been a while since I've been in Nuka World on this build and actually gotten a call for the gauntlet. But we're already right here by the merchant station. We do have a couple of beds in here. That basically means that they're dedicated resting spot. But going back around, we'll just hop up here instead of going all the way around and down, because we'd have to go the other way. We do have another little rest area over here. As you can tell, our succubus themed Assaultron is keeping an eye out. And that's pretty much this one. Keep in mind that I could have streamlined this a whole lot better if I had done Vault 88 first. But I didn't. Vault 88 is probably actually the last DLC content I actually had tackled at all. Yeah, I could probably make this a little safer if I'd incorporate a gate, but I want to save real quick. And we might see about finding somewhere we can do some damage. Matter of fact, we may fast travel back to the Commonwealth and then back to Nuka World. And see if maybe we got lucky and found someone in the gauntlet. That was weird. I was taking longer than it should have. I've not seen any fog crawlers, which you'd figure you'd see pretty frequently around here. Especially since that was what was infesting this spot before. Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to make it that far anyway. It'd be interesting if we could. I mean, we have the no map border installed, but now we're so deep that we're not going to be able to jetpack out of the water. I'm pretty sure there's a decline into the ocean floor here. So we're about, yeah, we're heading downhill now. I mean, this isn't really something we had to do, it's just something I decided I wanted to try and do to see what would happen. I guess we were heading more west than north, so we're actually still within the base map perimeter. So who knows, we might actually come across an enemy. Don't know what, but might come across a fog crawler, might come across Mirelurks, Yao, who knows. It's been a while since I've been out this way, so I'm really not sure. I think now we're officially on the outer edge of the map, so we're probably going to start getting to areas where there are no enemies, where there's probably hardly anything. I know for a fact there's a lighthouse hidden somewhere out here that is like just on the outside of the accessibility area. Not really sure where it's at, but I heard allegedly there was a cache of items that you otherwise couldn't get to unless you either toggled no clipping, and even then you couldn't get it, you just could see it. But I think with this particular mod we have, it's not even a mod so much as it is I modified the source code slightly thanks to the instructions that was in a mod. Kind of funny, I installed it, wouldn't work. I actually had to read it in order to figure out why. But now we're getting more into the... I'm actually surprised this is so shallow given that all this is registered as water. I half expect we'll see a lot more lurks or crawlers around here. On the bright side, that did get us quite a bit closer. I think I remember this bridge. I think I actually came here as part of the Dima side quest. There were Quit
playing games and come out where I can see you.
Oh, I keep forgetting about those things having their... And yes, as you saw, we just unlocked a codex entry for a mod we have, known as the Wasteland Codex, by the creators of the T49 mod, Old World Tunes, and, of course, the Storyteller Companion mod for Fallout New Vegas, Shoddycast. And since we unlocked it together, we're going to go ahead and enter the bestiary. We're going to look up hermit crabs.
I found that the best way to deal with a hermit crab is with a gamma gun. Despite being altered by nuclear fallout, the giant crustacean seems highly susceptible to any weapon emitting radiation. A hermit crab is a sneaky fellow. If your power armor is equipped with a targeting HUD, you'll have no problem spotting it before it spots you.
The Wasteland Codex is a nice little mod to install if you're interested to know about the various critters of the Wasteland. It's currently in only its second, well, it's only its really first update. But anytime you defeat an enemy, whether you've encountered it before, doesn't really matter. And it won't register them until you face them with the mod installed. But whenever you defeat a new enemy, it'll update with that enemy's info. Humanoids are still not available yet. Hold on just a second. I hate these trappers. But yeah, unfortunately humanoids aren't unlocked yet. So I'm not really sure when Shoddycast will get around to updating it for that. Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen whale skeletons this far in. It must have been caused by the storms brought up when the bombs went off. Ah, we got anglers here. That'll be a good entry. We can actually see its eye from here. We're going to try and take this out, see if we can unlock a new codex entry. Uh-oh. That happens every so often. It went in the water. That's when they get hard to hit, is when they go in the water, because then you can't even see their angle that well. Oh, we got a gulper up in the treetop. Gulpers are pretty tough to deal with. They're like death claws, only they're ambush predators instead of full-on. Aw, I didn't register it. Oh, yeah, it did. But that angler is still... ain't the one we were hunting before, but... Alright, now we've got a couple new entries. And we're still only at the 43-minute mark. Uh-oh. So dog meat found an enemy where? See, the thing about gulpers, as you may have noticed, is they tend to hide in the treetops. So it's like you pretty much are kept on edge constantly because you never know if the enemy's going to be on the ground, hidden in a truck bed, under the water, or up above the trees. I mean, honestly, Far Harbor has got to be one of the most suspenseful and stressful DLCs for Fallout I've ever dealt with in that regard. Of never knowing where my enemy is going to be at. Let's take a moment and listen to some of these new entries.
The back when times, anglerfish didn't have arms or legs. They were just as ugly. Lurking around shallow waters, anglers used bioluminescence to masquerade as lure weed. And once an animal gets too close, it's chow time. If you suspect an angler nearby, look closely at the water surface. It's possible to see the bulk of the creature lurking just below if you've got the eye for it. When hunting anglers, leave the laser rifles at home.
And this is one of those moments where I should have had that beforehand. Well, we also unlocked gulpers, so let's do that. I know cave crickets are unlocked, but we'll save that kind of stuff from when we're...
A salamander had a symbolic meaning for those living in America before the Great War. Their likeness can be found in old world firefighting stations. Today's mutated salamanders are native to Maine. Their attachment to fire is a lot more literal now. It appears they've adapted to their environment by using the fog that surrounds them to incinerate their prey. I've also heard rumors of them throwing cars at passers-by, though I've never had the misfortune of witnessing this.
No, I've never noticed a gulper to shoot fire. But I have seen them drop out of the trees and attempt to swallow something whole, so that's something. Well, you heard the bestiary. All the Gatling lasers I got don't mean a thing. Probably need to leave some of them at home, honestly. So we gotta find one of our better ballistic weapons. Yeah, I got a fire weapon that'll also freeze. Think about that for a minute. The assault rifle's good. We need something a little better than just a assault rifle. Oh, I want to use Kellogg's gun. I do. I like it. I hate Kellogg, but I will admit that he has an awesome gun. We'll go with the 50 cal. Yeah, this fog does make it a whole lot harder. Well, let's save real quick. We're already talked about maybe... Oh wait, we're at past the hour mark. Wow, it's already taking longer than I thought. But that's alright. Gotta find where it's at now. Actually, real quick, before we go back to the Commonwealth and attempt to transfer over to Nuka World again, I do want to see this.
That clicking noise from your Pip-Boy can't be good.
I'm guessing that last one's outside somewhere. Alrighty. Alright, forget this. Let's swap to what we got in Nuka World. And no, I did not console command this. This one I got legit. It was a choice between this and a Nuka World jumpsuit. So yeah, I have no regrets about my decision. Railway rifle. That works. Do the enemies never stop showing up? For the love of stupid things. Now I'm sure you're wondering what I went out of my way for out this way. Well, again, I'd heard there was some sort of lighthouse that was visible but otherwise inaccessible, and I think we have found it. And to be honest, I would like to try and get to it with everybody present. Or rather, with everyone watching, not so much present. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to get to it, or even if it's possible to get to it. I had honestly thought that this was one of the underwater ones. The only reason I didn't fast travel to it. It would have made getting here so much faster if I do remember that ship. I've been to that ship before. Oh, and I mentioned a Mirelurk Queen. Oh. Oh, we recovered part of our... Oh, we got another one here. Awesome. I was wanting to give you guys some action. I'm so glad this worked out in favor for that. It's already making this little side trip worthwhile. I don't know how I avoided the Mirelurk Queen the last time I was out this way, to be honest about it. Must have just been good luck. But now I gotta find my bearings again because I've lost sight of the... Nope, I have not lost sight of it. As a matter of fact, I think I may have found a direct route. Well, it seemed like a direct route at first. Have patience, everybody. It will be worth it in the end. Now, for anyone who's curious as far as that Wasteland Codex goes, no, you do not actually have to sit and wait and let it play all the way through. It'll do just like the radio will, and it'll keep playing even after you exit out of it. I just left it there to keep playing so that you could hear it all without my intervention or interruption. Oh, good God. Finding a spot to go uphill is going to be tricky. Hopefully this don't take too much longer, because this is already eating way more time than what I wanted it to. Holy crap, I can't tell what's happening. Now, hold on, we're gonna travel back to the cache, because I need to get my bearings again. I am, like, it'd be nice if I could call forth a vertibird and, you know, pilot the vertibird instead of just being a passenger.
Have a minute? Got something on my mind.
Of course. Anything you need.
Anything I need, huh? I might take you up on that one day. After Tommy stuck me with you, I was not only because you agreed to pick up me contract, but because I was waiting for you to... Now, so far, you've been treating me like a friend. Hell, you've been... Now, I don't mean to sound ungrateful. If there's anything I learned in the combat zone, it was that...
You're comparing me to that riffraff?
You don't even come close.
Yeah, I'm sorry for going quiet. I wasn't expecting one of these moments. I've not really done a whole lot with her, so this is kind of interesting.
I called it home. I was making a few caps. Had me own bed. Then the raiders took over the place. You know that lot. After they moved in, if you didn't keep looking over your shoulder, didn't take me long to learn that I had to put my hard-earned caps to good use. Buying friends with... So, I guess I'm waiting for you to hand me a bill.
Don't be ridiculous. I already got what I was expecting from Tommy.
Yeah, sure. But how long until you decide that he...
Sure.
I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll think of something I can... I'm not a rich girl, but I'm sure we can agree on something.
Yeah, that's the sad thing is that response that she just gave is actually a very common one for people who have been emotionally and physically abused. They get so used to it that they wonder if they find it impossible to believe that anybody is capable of being anything other than that way. I mean, I kind of can relate to it to a certain degree, not to her degree, thank God. But and yeah, I realize this would all go by a whole lot faster if I could... Wait a minute. Are you telling me there was a faster way? Oh, dear God. This may take some time, everybody. You know what, give me just a minute. We're going to make this a little bit easier on everyone all around. Alright everybody, I ended up having to ditch my power armor frame in the briny deep. I still have all my armor pieces for it, so I didn't lose anything. But we have finally made it to that isolated lighthouse off the edge of the map. Most of it is gone. There's almost nothing here. But if we can somehow make it up to the top. I had heard allegedly that there was something up there. Give me just a moment here because I'm going to... Oof. That hurts. I'm going to res in a power armor frame so we can jump boost up there. Again, I wish you could pilot vertibirds instead of just, you know, having to be the passenger, but It is what it is. I don't even want to think what might happen. I mean, I don't even want to think what would happen if you try to call a vertibird off the map. Probably end up breaking the game unintentionally.
Alright, let's see here.
Alrighty. And unfortunately, that is something that happens sometimes, not a problem. We'll try it down here. Alright. It all depends on what kind of surface you're on. Now that we've got that, I've got to track down all of my stupid legendary items. Hold on, sort by value, that should help. Well, I said should help, didn't mean it would help. Because I don't know if that value is greatest to least or least to greatest. I got a huge inventory. Oh god, I probably passed half of it. No. I don't think that's it. Let's see here. Hard part's gonna be finding the torso because I don't remember what it was called. That's bad considering the fact that it's the piece that's got my that's got my jetpack on it. Oh god. I wish it'd let you organize by legendary effect or not, because that would make it so much easier. I don't exactly have a huge number of these that are equipped with... Wait a minute. Wait. Yes, wait. Thank you. This is gonna make it, this should make it a whole lot easier. Power armor pieces are way heavier in comparison. I just realized I have no idea. I think that's it. Nope, that is not it. That might be it. Where's my helmet? I don't remember what my helmet was called. It needs to organize well, like if it's for power armor or not. That would make this so much easier. Sounds like this I kind of wish I was near a power armor station. Because then I could just find it and equip it. We're going to find out together if I wasted a few minutes time getting over here or not. I've probably passed my helmet 3 or 4 times knowing me. There we go, now that we're properly equipped. Alright, if I have it properly, let's see here. I do not condone the use of jet, but yeah, it's not going to work. It's too bad. Oh well. So I wasted a little bit of time. That's alright. We're going to get out of here. We've already went way above the time period I wanted to allot anyway. We're nearly an hour and a half. So let's get back to the Commonwealth and let's end this video. We can pick back up. Maybe getting into some mischief in the next video. Alright, we're back in the Commonwealth. We're actually where that quest that takes you to Far Harbor was at in the first place. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this little segment of Moonshadow Explores Fallout 4 Settlements. I hope you enjoyed seeing some more of my personal little areas. Let me know what you thought of this video and of my settlements down below. Let me know if you've tried any of the things I've tried and if you've seen some of the off-map locations I've seen. If you did like me and tried going to that far-off lighthouse and actually did manage to get to the very tip top, let me know what you found there. Because that may not have been the one I'd read about before or seen videos of before. So I may have gone the wrong one entirely. But let me know what you found. As always, if you like this video, bro hoof that like button. And if you disliked it, apple buck that dislike button. If you're not, or if you're been coming here for a while and haven't subscribed, go ahead and tap that subscriber icon down below to join our rainbow-eyed hive. If you're already a subscriber and want to know when new videos are uploaded, ring-a-ding-ding that notification bell icon. If you're new here to the channel and want to see what else we have to offer beyond just Let's Play videos, which let's admit there are a lot of them, go right on ahead and head on over to our main channel page by clicking my name above the video description below. There you can see other Let's Play videos, reaction videos, reviews, impersonations, and attempted song covers. As always, if you have any questions, suggestions, critique, or anything else, leave them in the comment section down below. If you have any fan art that of myself, my OCs, or any of the things we've done here on the channel, feel free to submit them to one of the included links that will be provided at the end of this video or in the video description below. Be sure to include a link to the original piece and a name that we can associate it with so we can give you proper credit. But that's really all the time we have for today, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking through to the end. We hope you enjoyed this little experience. Hopefully it was kept a little more exciting than the last ones have been. I'm sorry that it's so long. But we hope you have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week, and a great weekend ahead, depending on when you get around to this video. We hope you had, depending on when you get around to seeing it, we hope you have or have had a happy holidays. And we hope that you, like us, are looking forward to a bright, shiny new year. Thanks for tuning in. We hope to see you right back here, same Changeling time, same Changeling channel next time. And remember, everybody, don't go changing for anyone but yourselves.